Shabbat Shalom. This week's reading from the Torah, parasha Tazria. The skin diseases falling under the category of zaris, often translated as leprosy, needed to be determined by a Kohen, as mentioned in Leviticus chapter 13, verses 1 through 2. Yet, the so-called plague of leprosy, as mentioned in the Tanakh, is not exactly the leprosy of more modern times. Rather, it is a category of various skin diseases that needed to be determined by the Kohen, for only the Kohen has the authority to make the pronouncement. As is written, the Kohen shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Leviticus chapter 13, verse 3. The leprosy of biblical times was the result of spiritual malaise, commonly the result of the lashon hara, literally evil tongue, a type of gossip. The word mitzora, someone who has zaris, leprosy, is a contraction of motzi ra, meaning one who spreads slander, according to the Talmud, as mentioned in Tractate Arachin 15b. The very visible chastisement is meant to show that the Mezorah must mend his ways. In other words, the outward sign is meant to compel him to do teshuvah. Sin may be manifest in our lives, living below the service of our awareness. For this reason, one must make an attempt to examine one's life. There are visible signs at times that we need to understand as wake-up calls. Also, when the children of Israel entered the land, sometimes they found mold in the walls, so they would have to dig out the mold. On the one hand, the nega, plague in the form of mold, should serve for them to search their conscience. On the other hand, they often found hidden treasures in the walls, hidden by the previous occupants, the Canaanites, who had hoped to return. By way of an analogy, there is always a reward for rectifying our faults. Shabbat Shalom.